began exploring the park in the lush southwest corner and were immediately struck by the many distinct ecosystems in the park. Wetlands, mesic hammocks, pine woods, beautiful open fields. The open views were really lovely. Thousands of Brazilian peppers have been treated, chopped down and left to decay. Ongoing maintenance will of course be needed. Thank you to the Culverhouses for good stewardship of this property. They have stipulated that native trees on the property will be undisturbed. We walked through the brush to a retention pond that could someday be a kayak lake. We imagined nature trails someday winding through the park's various natural features. For the present, we had to make our way through the undergrowth and watch out for cowplops, anthills, and poison ivy. All of us are nature lovers and gladly took care for the chance to explore this park. Rick Barth is pointing out the topology of the park to Leela Frangi and Marcy Freeman. In the background is the possible kayak lake. To make open water for kayaks, the water lettuce will have to be removed. Perhaps the water lettuce could be mechanically removed and added to a compost heap for the vegetable garden. Chemicals are supposed to be used as little as possible in this park, according to the stipulations in the easement which governs land uses in the park. All along the west side of the lake, there is already a nice nature trail. Nature trails may one day wind through the many habitats in the park. We drove through the area in the center of the park and imagined a multi-use playing field, an educational pavilion of some kind with restrooms nearby, permeable trail surfaces for walkers and vehicles, and maybe a tree house, etc. Many locations in the park cry out for interpretation. Imagine students and teachers asking questions like, why is this perhaps the only cypress tree in the park? This is a strangler fig that has grown up around another tree. Is its host still alive? Walk all around it and get up close. See if you can identify its host. Use whatever evidence you can find to describe the growing habits of the strangler fig. Are there any figs on it? There is an eagle's nest below the crown of this old pine tree. The county protects bald eagles' nests. There has not been any activity at this nest recently, but it would be exciting to see if eagles return to it next year. Next, we drove to the northeast area of the park where there is a row of pine trees on a slight rise of land. This area was once a site for gathering sap for the making of turpentine. We silently remembered all the people who worked in this difficult industry as we walked along the same path they once walked. Amazingly, the remains of the metal channels for the sap and the V-shaped markings on the trees still remain to this day. At the edge of the special protected area around the eagle's nest is a circular depression, a wetlands that will provide many more teachable moments. When you're actually there, you'll see a cabbage palm growing nearly in the center of the wetlands. There are huge numbers of blackberry bushes in the park producing delicious fruit in season. Marcy is doing her best to find a few remaining berries in late July. The closest homes are in Stonebridge, just past the distant trees. To respect the privacy of the homeowners, we suggest quiet activities nearby, like vegetable gardening, or perhaps a grove of fruit and nut trees. Proximity to such a park might increase the value of nearby Stonebridge homes. This is called a concept map. It was sketched last year by the head of the County Parks Department and provides a starting point for placement of amenities in the park. The county will ask citizens to give input at a neighborhood meeting. And Marcy, Layla, and I will suggest that a community organic vegetable garden be included in the plan. We also would like the picnic area and parking lot moved farther away from Stonebridge. It will take a lot of work to create a community garden in the new Culverhouse Nature Park, but we're ready to begin.